outreach message that is being given out. That we need to, household must now target a certain acreage for purposes of growing food. And others politicians who have failed in the elections and so on, if they have some money, some of them are now beginning to invest in farming and so on. So we will see the situation change. There are projects that are being funded. Like there's one big US funded project on food security, and I think that is also going to change the situation. With Virginia Tech, we intend immediately, now that the award has been made, we want to immediately study, quickly, make a quick impact sort of strategy to get people moving. And that simply means we study the literature available within the South Sudan and in the neighboring countries. Because we have a lot in common with Uganda, and to some extent Kenya and Ethiopia and so on. We will study this literature very quickly, and on the basis of that we make recommendations together with the ministry for farmers to start adopting and working with this. So that there are, and then there are some NGOs also who are working on those lines. So we expect that the situation will change. I'm hopeful, and it's good to have hope. Yes?
I would like to know if you have approached UNESCO for post-conflict reconstruction. I know UNESCO helped a lot for example, Afghanistan. Polytechnic to rebuild their university. So have you approached the educational department? I know they have programs for post-conflict rebuilding. But if you probably they must be very good.
Yeah, what we have with UNESCO, at least at the level of the university that we're working on now, is they want to help us with our communications department, the journalism and all this kind of thing. And they also want to improve on the media capabilities in Southern Sudan. And they will be doing that with us. We have developed a curriculum together which we will then want to implement for people who are practicing journalism, but they have never really gone to school. Let me put it that way, formally. So they are writing and so on, but they're not doing it well. So we will put them through these programs, especially design work, and run them through some practical and theoretical instruction, and then be able to make them do things the way it should be done, and we hope that this will impact on the journalism, the communication system within the South Sudan. So that's one major thing we are doing together with them. But other UN agencies are also working with us on a number of issues that help with our programs, particularly those aimed at capacity building for people who are working in government.
I was going to ask back to the food security question. So when the reestablishment of the University of Juba, is there going to be specific roles for it to play in terms of enhancing food security? Will it be developing programs to assist with this? Will it be partnering with the Ministry of Agriculture?
You mean the university per se?
Yes. Yeah. And so how might the university be a catalyst in improving food security in South Sudan?
Well, we produce the people who go out and work in the Ministry of Agriculture. And I think the first direct impact is to show them how and why the food security situation is to improve than what it is now. So the people who are going to work out there will be our But as I said, in answer to the question, what I said was that we are also working with the ministry to try to get some outreach messages, extension messages out to people. Simple things, but you cannot be sure how much this can actually change the situation around. You'll be surprised. Like now, people still broadcast almost everything. I mean, we want to talk about space because there is a reason why we use space. This way that you have we don't have any recommendations. The first time I went to Malawi, I was very impressed as we were landing in Lilongwe, and we saw this very nice contour around this area, all planted, but planted in a certain way. I mean, this was no chance. There was a message that had gone out that this is the way this thing should be done. And as soon as we landed and we met the colleagues, these were the first questions we asked. How was this done? And they told us, this is Ministry of Agriculture, everybody has to do it the same way, and so on. And Malawi, for those of you who know, produces a lot of maize. A lot of maize, which goes, never mind what to do with it, that's another different story, because there's a bit of a, yeah, but production they do produce. And it's because of these messages that come out through the Ministry of Agriculture, and obviously with input from Gunda College, which is the one that does agriculture in Malawi. So I think that this is how the university will be seen to be helping out in this direction. And as I said, even now, we have been discussing on a monthly basis the Ministry of Agriculture's strategy for increasing food security. So we are discussing this together and seeing how we can all work together to effect the change.
Yeah, so I'm going to pick up on the food security regarding the GMO. Recently I saw the meeting with Juba and Nito and the Minister about the GMO. So sometimes you can be, as a recipient, you can be welcoming everything, but at the same time you can be caught up in some of the substance that some of the might not be going to be harmful to your environment, and one of them is the GMO. Because the company that came from the state is trying to offer the Minister of Agriculture, the farmers in Southern Sudan, the GMO. Of course, we know what is the negative effect of the GMO and so many things with Monsanto and especially with soil and all these things. So it's going to create a dependency issues of the farmers. There's so much issues. So what is the advice from the university, people like yourself, the Minister of Foreign or the Minister of Agriculture, to avoid such gift or donations? And then is there any policy advice, is there any recommendation, what is the future, what is the futuristic goal for that? Then my question number 2, tied to this one also, we haven't talked about the forestry. Southern Sudan is very rich on that. Are there any policies also to prevention of the forest? You know? Now you have talked about the charcoal, but do you have any to give us? What are the role of the university to give policy advice to the government officials so that it makes things up? Because university can be the driver in all this chaos.
Yeah. Let me start with the forestry. I think the whole issue is sustainability. The whole issue is environmental degradation. So now, those are the issues that need to be addressed when you talk about the forests. And use of materials for the correct purposes. Now in Southern Sudan, they even use hardwood for roofing. You know, teak is being used for roofing. I mean, that's not the way you do these things. I mean, hardwood is usually used for furniture and that kind of thing. So, but there we, the use is anything goes. Anything goes. So I think there we need to be able to advise our people. Secondly, if you cut, then plant. We were being told the other day, for example, with the teak, they were engaged in a pruning process, but instead of cutting out the bad timber, they were actually cutting the good ones down and leaving the bad. So there's a bit of that needs to be done with regard to the forestry. Otherwise, I think we are very rich in forests. Uganda and Kenya, for that matter, have benefited a lot during the war from our own timber. I mean, this is no secret, everybody knows this. But even now, that trade in timber needs to be regulated. There needs to be policies of how you export these things, how you sell them, and so on. Quite a bit of this needs to be put in place. And I think this is what the new country needs to do. It's the policies. The policies. When I was in Namibia, and I used to do a lot of work for government, if they gave you work to do, and you sign the contract, you know, this is a consultancy. By the time you are leaving, they give you a pack of books like this. These are all documents they've written. And they want you to look through these documents and build up a model on what should be done. We don't have enough of those documents. We need a lot of those documents. And they need to be written so that we know what needs to be done. And then the expertise will come and put together what is good for the country. So we need to produce this. Fruit trees, nobody seems to know anything about that. So that's an element of research. Medicinal plants, nobody knows. There's a lot of it. You know, I mean, my old father, before he died, he was a bit diabetic. And when he came to see me one time in Nairobi, and I said, should we also tackle this? He said, no, don't worry about that. You know, we grow this, and when I take it, I'm okay. So there are plants that our people know that actually do heal. So a lot of medicinal plants are not known, and I think in the South that needs to be researched into. The botanists need to do that. There are valuable things that animal feeds can be gotten out of for our animals. And look at what they do now. They know the value, these agro-pastoralists in Jongole and all these places. They know what the animals need to eat. But we were told the other day that they actually cut the trees down in order to feed to the animals. And I was telling them this is the wrong thing to do. You know, because what you need to do is to harvest the leaves and let more be produced. So the approach in doing things is not. So that's the forestry. The GMOs, it's something that is spreading, and it is something that will require legislation, will require us to be prepared to see how we tackle it, because it is a growing trend in the world, and a growing trend that is being financed by very rich companies. You mentioned Monsanto, and so I've done some work for Monsanto before. On cattle, they were producing things that you could give to cattle to enhance utilization of nutrients for purposes of milk production and so on and so on. So those things are going to be there. And then some neighboring countries, neighboring us, are embracing some of these things. So therefore, what it means is that us keeping away from this is going to be extremely harder with time. So what we need, again, the legislation, the policies with regard to this thing, how do we want to approach it? That is one thing that we must know.